If you play Mi Brawler, your choice of special moves can say a lot about you as a player and as a person. Whether you are a casual, a tryhard, or just a freaking psychopath, these 4 numbers will let the whole world know. So without further ado, let's get started. 1111. There are only 2 reasons to pick this moveset. Either you compete at some local that still hasn't updated its ruleset since 2016, or you just really like to disrespect people who say "me should only play one moveset" by still stomping them with these awful specials. 1112. You definitely have a split personality. On one hand, you like to play methodical and safe neutral with shot put, axe kick and feint jump, but then your manic side takes over and compels you to take onslaught as your last special. Usually, you still end up not using onslaught ever. 1113. You let your opponent pick half of your moveset. You chose shot put, they chose onslaught. You chose axe kick, they chose counter throw. And yet, your opponent will still complain about how broken counter throw is. 2111. You think you can compensate for SEK's lack of kill power by going for the deadliest specials possible. And if you're a casual player, you might actually think this is a good moveset. Unfortunately, you still end up getting gimped quite often, but that doesn't matter to you. You got your game plan, and as long as you have that, you are happy. 1211, 1221 and 1231. You think that burning dropkick is good enough to replace feint jump, and that head-on assault is an underrated move. And you're actually not a bad player, but you could achieve so much more with just one single number change. 1311. You are a beginner brawler player who wants to play competitively on a high level, but simply doesn't have the matchup experience yet to know how important feint jump is. But given the time, your brawler will evolve to greater and greater heights. 1121. You like to stick with the basics, but you watched someone talk about how broken head kick is, so you decided to give it a try. 1131. You like to stick with the basics, but you watched someone talk about how broken thrust uppercut is, so you decided to give it a try. 3111. You literally have no game plan. At all. You insist that your special moves are actually broken because exploding sidekick and head-on assault do so much damage, but in reality, you know you won't win any tournaments. You know what though? If you're having fun, that's totally fine. 2211. You are still in the process of learning Mi Brawler, so you haven't quite figured out how you want to play yet. You've kind of stuck with flashing Mach Punch and soaring Axe Kick, but haven't quite managed to switch from the very basic burning dropkick and head-on assault yet. With enough time, you will figure out how to use more specials and will improve a ton as a player. 2121. You think that every single of your moves must be directed at killing. You are likely to be a casual player or someone who has been traumatized by playing too much Sheik and are now craving for actual consistent kill moves. You usually die pretty early yourself, but for you that's totally worth it. 2221. You are the advanced form of 2121, who figured out that having something similar to recovery is actually pretty useful. You are a lot more willing to test out other specials than before, and are on a good way towards salvation. 2222. You just really like even numbers. 3311. You are the actual incarnation of cheese. You scanned Ultimate's whole roster to find the cheesiest character possible and ended up picking a brawler moveset with not 1, not 2, but 3 suicide moves and a Falcon Punch. You feed off opponents tweeting about only losing to cheese, and you gladly embrace being hated by all competitive players around you. 3313. Similar to 3311, you also love cheese, but you prefer to let your opponents run into their own demise. You enjoy joining random arenas and then leaving again after just one game. Your friends also stopped talking to you a long time ago. 1313. You like standing in the corner, spamming shot put and camping out your opponent, just to bait them into a counter dash attack followed up by an SAK edge guard. The next Zoc, you do the exact same thing, but this time with a suplex side. Your strategy might only work once, but boy is it satisfying to see the
absolute despair settling into the eyes of your enemy.
1312. You are a man of culture. You value consistency and advantage state over explosive power and kill potential, and try to strategically outplay your opponent in the long run. You're also the nightmare of all sword characters who think they have an easy win on you, and you enjoy every second of it. 1332. You give up an even matchup spread in favor of stronger kill power and more winning matchups. You have either been playing Brawler for a long time and have stuck with this set as the only set you play, or you just recently started playing him and chose the most popular moveset. 1322. You still believe that Helikick is the best up special because it can kill so early, and have not looked at any other moves for years. Even if your mindset might be a bit outdated, you are still a very strong player with decent results. You also are addicted to down tilt in neutral. 1212. You play Smash like it's a survival game. It doesn't matter if you don't deal damage, it doesn't matter if you can't score kills, as long as you stay alive, everything is fine. You are a tenacious person with a strong will, but you might be a bit stubborn at times. 1232. You are a try-hard competitive player who focuses all their gameplay on thrust uppercut, and, as such, you reject the idea of a command grab getting in the way of your sweet down throws. You are dead set on your playstyle, and to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that, because you know what you're doing. But you might not use Brawler's potential to quite its fullest. 2312. You think you cracked the code by giving a balanced moveset a consistent kill option and flashing Mach Punch. And you might actually be right. Your results are yet to come, as you're still standing in the shadow of Thrupper sets, but your time to shine will be there. As soon as you improve your fundamentals, you will show the world the power of your set. 2332. You saw everyone playing 1332, but for the love of God, you hate shot put. You know that flashing Mach Punch and Thrupper kind of serve the same purpose, but you insist on taking both because you won't use shot put anyway. Your playstyle is a lot more aggressive than others, and for the most part it's working pretty well for you. 2122. You just really love falling up air. Whether it's flashing Mach Punch, Thrupper, forward smash or even onslaught, you have to get your kills with an up air. You hate people who shield a lot, but overall you're having a lot of fun with the game. 3133. You are the Captain Falcon player of the Mii Brawlers. You think that playing neutral is overrated and that everything is about getting those juicy reads. If you ever hit an exploding sidekick, it doesn't matter if you get 3 stars. You already won the game the moment you hit that move. 3333. You think the higher the number, the better the move. 3312, 3332 and 3322. You know that you shouldn't use ESK, you honestly do. But you care more about still having fun while playing, so you will never give up the funny kick move for a better special. 2322. You are definitely a competitive player, but you want to push your kill power to the max without choosing any bad specials. You love playing rushdown and finishing games quickly, not giving your opponents any chance to breathe. 2323 and 3323. You do not care about the concept of recovery at all. You don't play the game to win at tournaments, you simply love the rush of hitting a counter throw off stage. 1213. You mixed up the numbers and actually intended to play 1312. 3122. The only reason you play Smash is to see flashy animations, and with 3122 you get those a lot. You also like to play with Final Smash on. 2333. You only play the set for the 6 sound effects you get for hitting one of these specials. Especially the counter throw sound lets you shiver every time. Your Mii also has one of those high-pitched annoying voices. 1222. You just love getting those offstage kills, but not like all the other brawlers going for spikes. You like to go out there. Your game plan is to almost, or literally, drag the opponent into the blast zone together with you. It might not win all your games, but boy is it hype to get an offstage Helikick. 1333 and 1323. You are a Mii veteran who has become increasingly frustrated with matchups against heavies and rushdowns, so you simply chose a counter to pay that annoying Ganondorf back for spamming forward smash every time you're at ledge. 3321 and 3331. You just like funny looking moves, especially head-on assault and suplex. Your Miis are also the most creative and funniest ones. 3213 and 3113. You like to bait your opponent and then pull the "No You" card with a counter throw, a wave bounce burning dropkick or a reverse edgeguard X kick. And that's it for what Your Mii Brawler Moveset says about you. Wait, there's some more movesets left? But I already listed like 40 different combinations. How many more could there be? There are 40 more? Holy sh... So yeah, as I was saying, if you want a part 2 for other movesets which I didn't mention and have literally never seen anyone play in my life, then go ahead and tell me with a like on the video, and maybe even subscribe. With that said, until the next video.